I'm Joe Ross with CNR News. We're live from Gladwin, Michigan. We're at Stanford LP Gas here in the heart of mid-Michigan. Our first guest is Derek Dalling. He's the executive director of the Michigan Propane Gas Association. Derek, they had a really big meeting here filled with dignitaries like the mayor. We had sheriffs. We had state representatives. What exactly happened today?
Well, periodically the association loves bragging about itself. We're bragging about a lot of the great things that the industry does. Certainly our local elected leaders are propane consumers, need propane education just like anyone else. Today was our opportunity to brag about some of the great things the association industry is doing to those folks.
Well, it's really important too because, you know, as everybody in Gladwin County knows, it's propane that's keeping us all warm in the winter. It's cooking our foods, well, winter and summer. And it is a real important part. It's a big employer as well, so I really appreciate you bringing in everybody today.
It's our pleasure. Northern Michigan is propane country. We love to brag about it. We are the biggest propane state. We love bragging about that fact, and certainly the people of Gladwin know about this, but we love bringing the exciting new parts of the industry like autogas up here.
Yeah, which is, we're going to hear more about autogas. I'm glad you brought that up. It's where vehicles, and this is a growing type of vehicle fuel used in Gladwin County, where they're using propane to actually fuel vehicles. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Anytime.
Our next guest is Josh Reed. He's a big muckety-muck here in the county. He is the Director of Transportation. Josh, what is it? This is one of the organizations, one of the big organizations in the county that went to, they're working with propane vehicles. How did you folks come to this conclusion to actually start fueling vehicles with propane?
We actually were exploring what some of the options were with alternative fuels, and knowing that the urban communities had been doing this for several years, we thought we would team up with Ford and purchase one of their propane prep vehicles and see how those chassis held up on our very rural roads.
And you guys, so basically you bought them directly from Ford?
Well, through a state purchasing contract with the state of Michigan.
Okay, because I do know here at Stanford, they actually, their facilities back here, they actually do the conversions, which is awesome, right here in Gladwin County. Was it just because they're green? What are the other reasons for going with propane for your fleet?
Well, the expense of the maintenance, the preventative maintenance for the diesel. One, diesel's dirty. Two, the DOCs and the DPFs all cost us a ton of money to maintain. The turbos go out of them. The simple gas propane engines are just much easier to maintain, less money.
Okay, for you folks that don't know the difference between a spark plug and a steering wheel, what he just said is the science behind a propane vehicle makes them a lot easier to maintain. They're a lot less expensive, and it'll save you a lot of money in your fleet. I think that's what you're getting at, right?
Exactly. We're right narrowing up on, by this April, we should have roughly 11 propane buses in our fleet of 21, saving us $60,000 to $80,000 a year.
Okay, I heard the mayor today, somebody was talking about just the amount of money you're saving on fuel. If you converted all of the vehicles that you have in your fleet here in Gladwin, how much would you be saving a year?
Roughly 100,000 probably.
All right, that's a ton of money being saved for the taxpayers of this county. Thank you so much. Right. Really appreciate coming on the show.
No problem.
Our next guest is Kyle Roberts. This is a guy that actually works on these types of vehicles. He's a guy that knows the insides and outsides of them. Kyle, what is it? Is this something new? Are propane vehicles something new that's being converted, or is there some history behind this?
There's quite a bit of history behind them. Probably back in the 70s, they began running them on propane, but since then, the systems that we use now have greatly got much better than what they have been.
Yeah, they're much more efficient. They're easy to install. What are some of why would somebody want to convert from a mechanical standpoint? Why would somebody want to convert their fleet of vehicles? And again, we're talking delivery trucks, buses, you know, you're running cars, whatever it is, you can convert it. Lawnmowers. From a mechanical standpoint, why would they do that?
The biggest thing is money savings per fuel, because obviously, you know, gas is right around the $3 mark, and propane is right around $2 mark, depending on the person. But
okay, but again, as far as the maintenance costs themselves, is it cheaper?
yes, definitely, you can run longer on oil changes, and it's just better for the engine itself and much cleaner too.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to point out that is Kyle's massive. Is that a half ton? I don't know.
500,
It's a 3/4 ton truck. They can convert anything from lawnmowers, from fancy trucks like that, as well as the Stanford, a regular pickup, and of course bigger rigs as well. Our last guest is Marv. Thanks, man, for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Our last guest is Marv Ackerman. You kind of run this joint, don't you? Isn't that what you do?
We're all a team here, but yeah, we're involved in it.
Okay, well, Marv is just going to give us a quick overview. You guys have had a long history here in the area. What are some of the things that you guys do? What are you guys selling out of here?
We're a complete center. We have bulk gas, we have residential gas, we have commercial gas, we have motor fuel, we have heaters, we have kitchen and laundry appliances, we have the education behind us. If you have a need, we have an answer. We've been here in business since 1957. We are your propane company.
Okay, now let's finish the show with this really cool thing that you do. You've got a chuck wagon back there. You got where you'll make food, and how does that work?
We have a trailer that you can hook up gas grills to for nonprofit organizations, for causes for the community. We'll take it out and cook food, hot dogs, whatever they want. We will, of course, have a few of our items out showcasing it.
Like your grills, which
Yeah.
you should.
But it's just a matter of being involved in the community and making a difference.
Oh, that's awesome that you guys are helping folks in Gladwin and giving back. I appreciate it, Marv. That's all we have time for today's show. I'm Joe Ross for CNR News. Thank you for tuning in.